What's up, guys? Hope you all are doing fine. Let's get started. First of all, let me clear the confusion regarding the release date. So, yes, the full volume in Japanese will release on October 25, and I will start posting the parts in English in PDF form right after that. So, basically, I've talked to a lot of people, and we will start working on the raw version as soon as it comes out. So, in hours, you will get like the chapters translated. And some of you might get confused when you will see me posting prologue and chapter 1 before October 25, and that's because the first 60 pages of volume are released a week before its actual release date. So we get those first. In the case of this volume, I think it will be October 20 because it's Ayanokoji's birthday and Ruins too. And it was the same last year. So before sharing my thoughts on the synopsis, I would like to say that if you can share the translation when it comes out to other people who read Classroom of the Late light novel, I will be glad because that will support the channel, and there are a lot of people who wait months for translation and just don't know that they can see it here on YouTube. So if you can share it with anyone, do consider it. Now let's talk about the synopsis, and if you haven't watched it, then what are you waiting for? Just go ahead, it's on the channel. Okay. So we know for a fact that the unanimous special exam is happening in this volume. Before the synopsis, we were kind of confused if it was going to be cultural festival or the exam, but now it's clear. So this exam is happening before the sports festival and the cultural festival, and it's like a voting exam. And that is where it gets interesting because it's not like the other one. So here starts the speculation. The reason it's not like the other voting is that in this exam, everyone in the class needs to agree on what they are voting for, and also it would make sense if it was the same. Now what do they need to agree on? That's a question, and we don't know. Like, I think it's kind of a notion or something, or a task. We can assume that whatever it is, it will not give a direct influence on anything, because let's say if, like the previous one, it says about getting expelled, then that person on who people are voting to get expelled will never agree and the vote will fail, which means whatever task it will be, its result will not be defined or already decided. Let me give you an example. So it cannot be something like, let's expel Kushida, everyone now starts voting, because Kushida will never agree. So it can be something like, let's expel the person who will be last in the 100-meter race, or something along the lines. You get what I mean, right? I don't mean it in the exact context, I just mean that the result should not be decided while making the votes, if we are talking about in expelling perspective. Obviously, it's not mentioned that in this exam someone is sure to be expelled. I mean, I will do like some expulsion, but let's see. Now, you might remember my previous video where I said that this might be a type of individual exam. And now you might say that it doesn't look like that is the case. And yes, I said it because Hoshinomiya sensei was blaming Chabashira sensei as if everything was her fault. Chabashira said it herself that because of her decision everything fell apart, which doesn't mean it was an expulsion, but just a decision which again didn't had any direct consequences and seemingly good, but end up being tragic. Now, from the synopsis, it seemed like everyone contributes in decision, right? So, why it was Chabashira's fault? Well, there is this interesting line which says, everyone needs to express their intention by voting. Now, this can be interpreted as everyone saying yes or no, but I think this can also mean that everyone can propose a task or something for the class to agree on. And if one vote fails, then the other student can propose their task. And it will go until everyone agrees, of course with some rules in it. And at this point it can be so much different things that I don't even know where to start thinking. With this info, it's hard to guess what it's going to be exactly, so I will withhold my guesses. And also, I would like to see the actions of characters about the exam, like Hirata for example, especially how they are going to face it, like Class G as a whole. Because this exam sounds so vicious that I would like to see their unity and how they are going to do it. Same for Ruin's class, how they are going to deal with it. Same with Sakayanagi's class, same with Ichinose's class. And you know what? This exam obviously is going to change a lot of rankings of the class. Like class A can collapse, class B can collapse, class C, class D, any class can collapse. And There is a huge difference between Class A and all the other classes. Class A is at 1200 points, and I think after that it's 500, right? I might need to check that. But maybe Class A gets collapsed in this exam, like from 1200 points to 500, 600. I'm just saying that the difference is just huge. It's not unreachable, but still, I think this exam can be a turning point for, class rankings and the class chases. Also, talking about the cover, it seems Matsushita is finally getting some spotlight now. I have been waiting for her to get more screen time for a long time, and along with her is Sato, which is kind of interesting because I like the coincidence that when I tried to explain the exam in my previous video, I chose two random characters, and now those two characters will have a big role in this exam, and they both came on cover. Well said by the man himself, coincidences can be freaky. And finally, this illustration of Chabashira sensei is just beautiful. I can't wait to know about her past. Also, on the topic of illustrations, I almost forgot to tell you, but all the illustration also gets released a few days prior to the actual release. And I will not share them, nor do I recommend you to see them because they are just spoilers and I don't want to spoil you of that fun of reading. Because I realized that when all of us were binge reading earlier volumes without any spoiler, the experience was so good. Like if I've been spoiled before reading volume 7, maybe I wouldn't have gotten that same feel of just not knowing what comes next and just getting surprised at every turn. So that's about it. I wanted to share a lot of things, but I want this video to come out soon before those 60 pages so I can focus on them. Well, next time we will meet with the prologue of Year 2 Volume 5, so I will see you then. Thank you for watching till the end and have a nice day.